Okay, so Richard made a video today. It was actually a really good video, so I don't want to slag him off or anything off. It was just one point that was being made in there that I've had from other places, and it's a point that I want to pick up on, and because I think this is where people are going exactly wrong, and I think that he's missed the point, and I think other people have missed the point on the right of politics. Many people were saying we need to join up with the centre. We need to appease the centre. Is how I'm reading it, but that's my opinion. But that how I'm reading it is we need to appease the centre. We need to appeal to the centre, and this is where the real argument I think is, where the real split is, um, and that's fine because there is merit to both sides until people say things like what I've just heard, which is. Um, Nick Griffin and the BNP didn't get us the Brexit vote. The centre did. Um, Neo Nazis or whatever the term was didn't get us didn't get us through Brexit. The people of Middle England did. Do you see the problem there? Just like the left, it's accidentally slipped into people that there's left, there's centre, and then you jump straight to far right. Oh, that was it. That was the term used, far right. So far right, and what was the other name I used? And the name I used before that, far right, and BNP and Nick Griffin was the term used first time. It's again, I'm just not picking on Richard. A lot of people are doing the same thing, and the left have been doing it for years. So again, where's the right figure in that? They're using the word right to say right wing, but then they're jumping straight to Nick Griffin and people like that. Well, there's a whole bunch of people you're missing out there, which is just the conservative right wing. Right wing generally means conservative people, not conservative party, conservative people with conservative values, and that's just traditional British values. That is literally what the name says, trying to conserve, keep hold of British values, not have them change too much. That's why it's progressive versus conservatives, because some people claim to be moving forward whilst conservatives try to hold on to what's got us here. So it's got a simple concept, that that I obviously our politics has become a bit inverted, but if you voted for the Conservative Party, you weren't considered far right, you were considered right wing. That's always been the case. So I don't like this use of language now, and I don't believe it's deliberate. I hope it's not, because if it was, it would be pretty disgusting. But I don't think that from all quarters it is. I think it's something that slipped into our language. But I don't know that we do need to appeal to the centre, especially the centre left, because they've already shown, that's what's caused reform to become what it is. But that's a separate argument. That is a separate argument, and I'm prepared to concede there's a right and wrong there that is ambiguous. But what I do have a problem with is people saying left, centre, even breaking it down to centre left, centre right, but no right wing, just straight to far right, straight to Nick Griffin, straight to BNP. You can't, whoever you are, you can't keep doing that, because right wing literally in this country meant to have conservative values or to vote conservative, depending whether you're talking about party politics or politics at home, activism, stuff like that. So you're either fighting for conservative values, traditional values, versus people who were trying to change everything, knock everything down, destroy everything. That so that's what the right is and what it stood for, and it's never had anything about race involved in it. It was also Christian in many people's eyes, right wing, because again, Christianity was a traditional value. It's what our country was built on. So um, many right wing people have always been Christian. That's traditional too. Because again, they hold on to tradition. That's what right wing means. Why am I having to say this? I'm not an expert on politics. No, I'm not. So why should I be telling other people this? But purely in alarm, in alarm and again, I'm not having to go at him, but having an alarm at seeing videos like this that make really good points. I actually thought, other than that bit, it was one of the best videos he's made in years. So I'm really not having a go. But just this point, left, centre, far right. Where's the right in that? You say right, they say the word right, but they jump to far right. And this is the problem. And on the subject of cozying up to the centre, I'm sorry, but a lot of the centre are centre left. They're saying it on my channel, and anybody right of centre left is considered to be far right, which again is slipping onto other people that probably wouldn't have said that a few years ago. I don't think he would have said that a few years ago. Um, so I just think that it's not necessarily intentional by people. It's because of the insults and the integrity bashing that's been done to us, the constant calling us racist and everything else. I mean, it's not nice to be called these things and have people believe it, you know. So I do think some of it is cowering down, but I refuse to cower down to that, because anybody that knows me, black or white, knows I ain't got a racist bone in my body. The only people that have ever called me racist have been strangers standing across the street who don't know a damn thing about me. That's it. Nobody I've ever met in person has ever even dared suggest it, because in fact, most people of colour who've ever met me laugh at the idea of me being racist, because they say that I couldn't. It's just not in me to be like that, and it's not. I'm just a person to person basis. If I see in your eyes you mean me harm, we're done. We're done. I don't want to talk to you. That's how I am about people. Race comes second. Your intentions come first. That's how I work. You know, and I believe that like I know that's how, say, someone like Richard works. He doesn't see colour or whatever else. But what I think we've got to realise is that's most people in the country. That's most people. And we've got to stop pretending that there's this big group of people out there that are seeing things in colour. And again, this is not a response to his video. I'm only doing this because there's been lots of people making similar arguments. And I just want to remind them that, as well as left and centre, there's also a whole right wing there. It's got nothing to do with colour, nothing to do with ethnicity, everything to do with their politics that you're just dismissing, and then going straight for people like Nick Griffin to compare all of us to. I'm right wing. I'm nothing like would never have gone near the BNP in my entire lifetime. So, I'm one of those many voters out there that's still got to make a decision. And to compare me, for instance, and I'm not offended, but voters will be, to compare me to someone who would join the BNP, to compare me to like Nick Griffin or something like that, to a voter, that's gonna hurt, and that's gonna make them think, wow, I've never been racist in my life. F you, you know. And that's going to upset people. And what you don't want to do is upset people into creating a far right. It's something we've always known in this country. Be careful. If you keep hunting for it, you'll create it. So we've got to be really careful not to create that very far right that we fear. And the way you create that is by keep calling people it, and by pushing them into a corner. So what we need to be doing, rather than worrying about the centre, is we need to be making sure that the centre, which is where people like that him are, and the people that have come onto my channel to talk, a lot of them are coming at this from a centre point of view. It's them that needs to extend their hand to the right and stop calling them far right, and clearly distinguish the difference. One is not a continuation of the other. One is conservative values, the other is a fucked up mess that we don't have anything to do with, never have. That's why we've all of us have stood side by side. That's why we've all stood side by side. And do you think any of us, me, Richard, any of us people that have worked together, or just as side by side if we believed that either one of us was racist. No way. That's not how we work. So, um, I don't think it's intentional. I think it's something that slipped into people because of the pressure they've been under. But you can't keep doing this because there's a lot of people who identify with being right wing. And they know what it means. They've seen that dictionary definition, and it doesn't mean racism. And you've got to stop doing that because that is alienating millions of people, and you do not want to do that when you want to win an election. That's all I'm saying. I'm making an argument here, not trying to have a go at anybody, but it's really important. Tom Fury, Zero News, calling it a day for now.